Hello, Topper fans. This is Michael House. We've got a great podcast coming at you today. We're going to be talking baseball, basketball, and football today on the podcast for the Hilltopper Hooligans. We have a decision coming up tomorrow, a very big decision on the case of Zion Harmon. And I think he'll probably come to WKU, is what I'm thinking. It's either going to be us or Seton Hall at all is what I'm thinking as well. His top options are he's got Kansas, Maryland, Murray State. He was in there. Louisville was in there too, but they recently, about a month ago, stopped recruiting him. This podcast actually is going to be split into three. This is part one, where we're going to be talking basketball. Then we're going to have a part two with a little bit of football, and then we'll have a part two will be baseball, and then part three will be our football part of the podcast. Well, a couple of days ago is the anniversary of RTy Rogers' 3, and NCAA basketball is currently doing a poll on who or what, I guess, had the greatest March Madness moment. Could have been a team. RTy Rogers is in there at a 15 seed. Just ask him about his 3. I've seen many great videos on him explaining the 3. It was a great moment for WKU basketball. And, man, it sucks that we can't have a March Madness this year and possible another chance for the Hilltoppers to have a big moment like that. Some more news from basketball. Jon Rothstein tweeted on March the 21st, 2 days ago, that there's a source that Louisville will open the 20 and 21 college basketball season against Western Kentucky at the Yum Center. We knew as part of the 4-year deal that we would be playing them sometime next year, but we did not know that we would be opening the season against them, which is also really big for the program. So let's go, and I want to send a thank you out to Louisville basketball for actually playing us. Unlike Kentucky, Louisville actually will play us in sports. I guess Kentucky will play us in baseball, but they won't play us in basketball or football. But Louisville will, so shout out to Louisville. There was a comment on the RTy Rogers post that said, "I think we saw this ending in the pro shop." He was tweeting this to his friend at the Fripp Island Golf Course after the British Open round with Austin Wells. I was watching the game. I wasn't even old enough to get into basketball back then, or I would have watched that game probably, but that WKU basketball team just looks so good, and it is sad that I wasn't able to watch them. So, also now back to the WKU basketball versus Louisville. Murray State could have scheduled this, and they should be ashamed for not. That was an easy schedule, but they didn't do it. So now we got Louisville. I'd much rather have Louisville, though, honestly. Much bigger opponent. Could be a statement win coming into the year for the Hilltoppers. So it's just now, it's a wait to see what happens in that game. Obviously, we can't predict the future, and we can't know if we're going to win or lose that game. It's going to be at the Yum Center, so that's obviously going to be a challenge. Opening game, so, it's hard for me to see a win in that game just because it's opening night in the Yum Center, but also I could see a win potentially, and I think it's going to be a fun game to see. I think it's going to be a sellout. Yes, I think it's going to be a sellout because Louisville was so good last year, and that's what they're used to. They're used to selling out the building. It's going to be opening night, so all the fans will be anxious to see their new team play. WKU fans will be packed in there, I'm assuming, because we're going to have an amazing roster. And let me dive into this roster really quickly. Jude Redfield is definitely happy today because he lives in Louisville, and he got that. He doesn't like Louisville. He's a big Western fan. So I'm sure he is very happy to just be able to drive down the street and check out his Hilltoppers take on the Cardinals, his despised enemy. I think Louisville basketball should care to give him some front row seats for this game. Definitely. Even though he doesn't like their school, he should definitely be in the front row for this one. So, Stephen Moffitt, he pointed out on Twitter, wonder if U of L will give us the same courtesy next year when it's at Diddle. And remember, Louisville is coming back to Diddle. They're coming back. They were here a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago, I guess now, whenever Montrezl Harrell was on the team, and you can remember that big fight that occurred between, I guess, Patterson for Western. Avery Patterson was one of the 4 players that were on top of Harrell, but they weren't doing anything bad to Harrell. Harrell just punched him everywhere, even hit the ref on accident, knocked down his own teammate that was trying to hold him back, and Harrell got ejected from the game. So that was just a crazy moment, and that's my biggest memory from when they came to Diddle. I remember the crowd was super big, so that'll be fun whenever they return the game in Diddle next year. So it could be on opening night at Diddle too. I kind of hope it's not. I want it to be like a December game. Hopefully not on Christmas break though, so we'll have the students. I don't like it whenever it's on Christmas break. Whenever we had to play Wisconsin, Arkansas was, I guess, that was about the time of Christmas break whenever we took on Arkansas. But I want the students to be there, so I kind of want it to be over opening night. That would be pretty awesome. Yep, so have faith for now in this team going in. It'll just be interesting to see what happens. Western's trying to find a big, like 6'5", probably. There's Jensen Linton, and I was looking at him. He's a junior. He has a picture with Kenny Cooper. And it'll be interesting to see about him. He's 215 pounds. 2021 junior is what he is. So we're looking for a big that can help out Charles. This guy's 2021, but possibly could reclassify, could look for someone to reclassify, or could maybe get a transfer big. That's the thing we're going to want to watch for this coming year. But let's dive into the upcoming roster that we already know for sure. So we talked about the possibility of Zion Harmon committing, because his decision is tomorrow afternoon. And it's going to be a big one. You're going to want to pay attention to this. But if I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of want Zion to wait a year. I don't want him to reclassify, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't want Zion Harmon to reclassify because this year we're going to have Kenny Cooper at the point, and we're going to have Jordan Rawls at the backup point guard. Sophomore Jordan Rawls. Now listen to my idea here. If we have Zion come in this year, that's just another waste of a guard position that, I mean, it would be nice to have 3 guards in case someone got hurt, but I kind of just want 2 point guards for now. And I want a big man, because the big man is more of our concern right now, because all we have is Charles, who is incredible on his own. But at his backup, we have Isaiah Cozart, who still needs some time to get ready, I feel like. He was doing really good at the end of the year, but I think he still needs a little bit of time to get ready. We also have, let's see. We have Carson, obviously, he's amazing, as you could have seen this year. But he's not real big either. I want a big man, like a 6'9", somebody like that. But look at our senior class here. Josh Anderson, Tavion Hollingsworth, Kenny Cooper, Carson Williams. In my opinion, that's one of the greatest senior classes that will ever walk through Diddle. Ever. Every single one of them are outstanding. Tavion, 40-point game. You can see what he's done. 43 points, actually. He has done that. When he's at the shooting guard position, he's flat out outstanding. At the end of the year, he played a little bit of the point guard position. He was amazing there, too. Josh Anderson, just a prolific dunker. So fun to watch. Shot blocker. Amazing on defense. You know Josh. Kenny Cooper, who you didn't get to see this year, he's going to be outstanding. I can't wait for you all to see Kenny. When I watched him in the scrimmages, he was just unreal with the ball. I think he's going to be great. He's been able to practice, but he just couldn't play in the game. So he'll be able to fit right in with the team right off the bat. Then we have Carson, who completely bulldogs everyone in there at 6'5". He's about 220, I think. Now our junior class, our lone junior, Charles Bassey, potential All-American. One of the best big men that will be in the country this season. He's a junior. Kind of crazy. I can remember whenever he was a freshman. We have Isaiah Cozart at the backup in the sophomore class. We have 4 sophomores. Jordan Rawls. The sophomore class kind of struggles. Isaiah Cozart, he's real good. We can see his potential. Jordan Rawls, he's outstanding for a sophomore. Jackson Harlan, now, if I'm going to be honest with you, Harlan could redshirt and be back in the freshman class because he only played in 3 games, but that would be, I just feel like we could get someone better than Harlan in there, if I'm going to be honest with you. And then Jeremiah, who he redshirted, so he's just now a sophomore. Jeremiah, we've seen potential in him to come in and hit a couple threes, but I could honestly see Jeremiah leaving, and that would be another position for us to get, or another scholarship for us to use. In our freshman class, we have McKnight. That is 3 point guards. 3. So I keep on forgetting about McKnight because I said it was just Jordan and Kenny. We have 3 point guards with McKnight coming in. And then we also have Kylan Milton, who is not signed yet. He's just committed. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually comes. But just an outstanding group of kids. This is also great. So that's the roster. Now back to talking about Louisville on opening night. It's great because Elliot Pratt actually tweeted, per source, that it will be the opening night of college basketball. Not just the opening night of Louisville, the opening night of all of college basketball. Western Kentucky taking on Louisville. This could potentially be on ESPN, depending on what all the other games that night are occurring. But Zion Harmon, you're going to want to watch his decision to see what he does tomorrow. I have not heard of a live stream yet, so be sure to check Twitter. And remember, WKU in Louisville on opening night of the 2019 season. That's pretty much it for WKU basketball today. Thank you all for listening.